Hi, I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. I'm here with cinematographer Ivan Verlaan. We're in his studio space, world headquarters of Visual Inclination. And so what we've got here is a Joker 1600, and it's going into a bounce and then back through diffusion. So it's a book light. And how we're setting it up is we've got a 6x of magic cloth that's coming through a grid, and that grid, that LCD, is by the good folks at LA Rag House. And then the light is bouncing into a V-flat, so that's just two 4x8 pieces of foam core that you tape on the long side, and then you can have it white towards you, or you can turn it around and have black towards you. So it's just a simple way of making a quick book light in a studio situation. And we want to compare this with two 600d's, so two Aputure 600d's, and just see where it falls. Actually, what are we shooting on?
Oh, so we've got a couple of red Komodos shooting in 6K at ISO 500 and T4. So we're well exposed now at T4. I think out of the Joker 1600, we're getting about it was 120 foot candles at about 6 foot distance. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll just say, like, the point of the sort of the context for the test is that I've been using Jokers for a little while now for a mix of studio but also location interview work. So obviously right now we're in a nice controlled studio, but I would use a similar type frame magic cloth interview setup on location. I wouldn't be using a V-flat for the bounce. That would just be a 6x6 ultra bounce usually. You said you could use
two 4x ultras that are in a V.
Yeah. I don't have those. I work out of a minivan still. This is sort of for me the sort of flattering big source for a doc interview. And I guess I've been very, very happy with the Joker so far, but the 1600 I've been a little bit hesitant to bring onto location work. You can run it off a 15 amp circuit. We are right now. But it's generally recommended to use a 20 amp circuit, especially on location where you don't know what other items might be on that same circuit. And so it's much safer on a 20 amp. And as a result, we may not have a location scout. We may not know what we're going into. What I've been doing is bringing Joker 800s instead and running with either one or two of those into a booklight setup or a bunch of LEDs. And more recently, we've picked up these 600d's, and I wanted to do a little bit more of a controlled test with somebody who's an experienced gaffer and be able to see, what sort of output does that give us, what are the pros and the cons, and see what we get exposure-wise and quality of light-wise.
Boom. This is the tighter framing with the Joker 1600. This would be like the framing for the shot, and then just to note that we do have a V-flat here for a little bounce, and that's why it's not, falling off that much on the other side of the face.
Yeah, so we got about 170.
Okay, so here we've got 170. This is with the two 600d's. A little more output, almost a stop more output than the J16. And yeah, we're running into a cube tap, so same stinger, same 15 amp circuit. And now you can fully dim it. You can put it on the app. You can put it on, another control system. So that gives you that much more flexibility as well. So right. It's an alternative.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. The app thing, I would mention, you can group these together, right? So even though it's two fixtures behind here in the booklight, once you've grouped them, it's going to behave like a single unit.
And if you wanted to have some of the source here and some of the source be a little bit more around, to be more flattering for your person, if you wanted that, then you could, you have a little bit of flexibility like that too.
And then I guess the only thing to mention before we wrap up would be the setup time. Not fully scientific, but approximately it was about 3 minutes for me to solo set up the Joker 1600. Very straightforward, one light, one stand.
It's gotta warm
You're
up.
done. Now that doesn't include the frame or
Right.
the V-flat or anything, but we're keeping it simple here. But so just the fixture itself was about 3 minutes, but plus warm-up time to come up to temperature. Setting up these 2 units, again, not so scientific, and we cheated by having both of us, but you know, that was about 5 minutes for both of us to set these up, and
Yeah.
pretty straightforward, and also pretty comparable by the end, right? If you're factoring for the warm-up time.
Right,
So,
right, yep.
I
Yeah,
guess that's it. Yeah.
there you go. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. And we're in his studio space, in his company, Visual? No, I want to say that it's the world headquarters of Visual Inclination. All right, okay. Hi, I'm Luke Scherveld.
What do I do with my hands on these?